Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the 12.7 BR again. Thank you all the members, all the Patreons, make sure to subscribe and let's get into it. So we are flying out with 3 of the main aircraft that you will see in 12.7 to see how they are dealing with this new BR bracket, right? So the first one is the Gripen. Instead of making 3 videos of each aircraft, they decided to just make it one, just because there's not that much to even talk about, right? So I just decided to finish up the new BRs probably. I don't know if I'm gonna do another one with these aircraft. The Gripen, guys. The Gripen is an interesting aircraft. I think it's one of the first, if you can call it, 4+ generation aircraft, or 4.5 or close to that, okay? It's an aircraft that always had a little bit of performance, you know. It was very good since the beginning, since it was added. And right now with the 12.7, I think it's just fair and square. Gotta be honest, the only problem that this aircraft actually faces is not having a properly competitive radar missile, right? The AIM-9M is not the greatest missile out there, I think, but still it is one of the best. And the performance of it really does carry this aircraft. With the amount of flares that you can actually take on this thing, it really is annoying to kill it. Doesn't matter what you were flying, right? And although it is an aircraft that I think at the end of the day, even though you can carry a lot, you are still a little bit dependent on your team. And the 12.7 didn't change that, you know. The 12.7 BR bracket just made the aircraft a little bit more, I don't know, like I would say on par with the competition, but it's more like the competition is on par with you a little bit more, because you are fighting a lot more of these advanced aircraft, I think, right? The F-16 is kind of the same. It's an aircraft that was already amazing. It was already one of the best aircraft in the game. I think both of them, but the Gripen is a little bit better in my opinion, but both of them are very standardized, right? What I mean about that is that it's an aircraft that everybody can just hop in, jump on the aircraft and get a lot of kills. So it's a very easy aircraft to do, but both of them are far from perfect on the BVR/radar guidance missiles, right? So it's, I would say that it's the only thing that lacks on these aircraft, right? And the F-16, as I said, it's a very standardized aircraft. It's an aircraft that has a lot of potential of killing everything in a dogfight if you know what you're doing. You can kill targets in the BVR, although there are better aircraft out there and better missiles. You're still able to do it. You have a NATO standard Sparrow missile, right? And of course you still have the AIM-9M, again a missile that it's very standardized across all the aircraft, right? Of course the AIM-9M is, as I said before, one of the best missiles in the game. I still prefer some others, but it is right up there together with some others. As you saw, the Sparrow, still, it isn't the most maneuverable missile out there, but it can get kills. It's just that sometimes it's not maneuverable enough. You know, and again, it's an aircraft that, yes, you can carry it with this thing, but it is limited in the radar missiles, in the sense of how many you can carry. And of course, it's an aircraft that lacks the ability to just destroy everything from any angle in a dogfight using the HMS, because even though it does have the HMS, the missile cannot turn as well as other missiles that we're going to talk about in the last part of the video, right? So at the end of the day, it is the same kind of idea from the Gripen, right? It's an aircraft that was already a top dog, and it's still a top dog. It's very normal to even consider this thing one of the top dogs of the game, right? How better or how worse it is compared to the F-15, it depends on personal preference. I gotta say, I still would take an F-15 over this thing. It's just my opinion on it, but I guess the statistics show it different, because they didn't include the F-15 in the new BR range. The last thing, of course, that makes these aircraft like in a bit of a pickle sometimes, it has a little bit of that, is the lack of the amount of flares. You know, there are aircraft out there that can take a lot more flares and chaff and that can make a difference, as you see right here. I'm trying to evade, but at the end there's nothing I can do because I'm just out of flares, right? And then we have the true top dog that I think, seriously, this aircraft is like what a definition of a 12.7 aircraft should be. The Su-27, of course, guys. This aircraft, maybe if it is even supposed to be a 13.0 or something like that, because this aircraft can do it all. It can do 50-kilometer shots and get kills very easily and still carry a lot of missiles, the best radar missile in the game, together with still carrying a lot of IR missiles, which, by the way, are the best missile in the game, in my opinion, as well, IR guided, right? So at the end of the day, you have two of the best missiles in the game, if not the best, in their own respective ways, and together with a platform that can carry 10 of them. Yes, it's incredible. Together with the radar buff that we just got this week, it means that this aircraft has an on-par radar with all the other aircraft. Maybe there are other radars that are better, but this is enough. It is good enough, you know. It can do a lot of damage. It has the R27 ETs, it has the cannon, which is amazing, and on the side of performance, of course, yes, it can accelerate slower than, I mean, it's a little bit slower than something like the F-15 and some others, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's still very much on the same ballpark as the other 4th generation of the game, and also, together with that, it's the only aircraft that can properly do a Cobra, you know, in top tier, together with being just a very maneuverable aircraft. So it has it all. The only thing that it doesn't have is the air-to-ground capability of some of the others that I talked about, but we are not even considering that too much, because going to 12.3 to 12.7 in a ground battle, it doesn't mean much, right? So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, seriously, like, yes, the Gripen is amazing, the F-16C is amazing, all the other 12.3s and 12.7s are amazing, but nothing can compare to this thing. Like, it really cannot. This thing can dominate alone and destroy whole teams if you know what you're doing. It has the missiles and the capabilities for it. It's literally the only aircraft that I would suggest to be a 13.0 aircraft for now, while everybody else is 12.7s and 12.3s. And I don't see anything coming to the game that will be on par with this thing unless they start to add the Fox 3 missiles. So I think Gaijin is it's kind of drawing a little bit of a future that we will need to have very, very soon, and it's kind of confirmed that we will have it. The Fox 3s from the 1990s together with the 4+ generations, because the Su-27 really puts the performance of every other aircraft in the game in question. And you can say whatever you want about the F-15, you can say whatever you want about the F-16. Fly an Su-27, you will know what is to be able to dominate a match, you know, to be in control of a match. That's the question. It's not even like, oh my god, you can get aces all the matches. It's just the ability to control the match. You know, you are always, you always have something to respond the enemy with. You always have a certain missile, a certain ability, a certain everything in combat that makes this aircraft be the best in the game. And by far, I think it's, as I said, yes, like the other 12.7s are amazing, but nothing ticks all the markers like the Su-27. And it really kind of scares me that this aircraft was added in the way that it was. But at least we don't have a dominating kind of situation like we used to have when the MLD was added, when the F-14 was added, because we always have mixed battles. So everybody has an Su-27 in their game, everybody has an F-16, everybody has an F-15, and it's balanced at the end of the day. But yeah, guys, this is my idea on 12.7. It's amazing. It really changed the game for the better. But yeah, there is still one aircraft that can beat them all. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next.